Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show, the podcast. Here we are on a day that is a Tuesday, as we always are. I don't really know where we're going with this intro, but either way, we are here to talk about Season 2 and everything that's here. This is new, uncharted territory for MLB The Show. It is different than sets and seasons because we've never had a full-blown total wipe before. And I think we still missed the mark, but I also think there were a couple, semi-positives to take away from this. I'm kind of curious what you guys think, as always. This is a testy subject with the MLB The Show community for obvious reasons that I don't necessarily disagree with. But Season 2's here. It's different. Let's give it a try. So let's talk about it. Before I really sink my teeth into anything today, I want to say this. I fully understand why a decent chunk of people have put this game down. Maybe not for the year, but maybe just for a couple months. You're kind of just sick of the repetitive stuff. You don't like the wiping of content from season to season. You don't like the pack-oriented style and approach. I feel you. Truly. Because I don't like most of it either. I'm going to continue making content for this game. And I want people to realize, I'm not saying we have to accept what's going on, because I don't think we should. Truthfully, I don't think we should. I think we should use our voices and tell SDS how we feel. But I'm going to keep making content for this game because there are people who are picking up MLB The Show for the first time. I've had people in my comments saying this is their first year playing, or even last year was their first year playing. So they don't know any different. They're a little naive, a little blue. Or it's a little green. It's a little green, not blue. Blue is the opposite one. They're a little green. And I like to think of my content sometimes, not all the time, as more educational in a sense. You know, our mailbag is all about answering questions on Monday. How to Pitch With is literally supposed to be an educational tutorial. And this podcast is generally reviews and opinions. So I'm going to keep making content. I don't want you guys to think that I'm making content because I'm in love with this game. I am in love with this franchise, and I am in love with baseball, but I am making content still, well, also because I enjoy content, but secondly, because there are people who are not fed up with MLB The Show because they're still learning it. So I think we forget that end of the conversation sometimes, because not everybody's a veteran, seasoned player. I forget it sometimes, too. So just keep it in mind. That's all I'm saying. Neither here nor there. That comment shouldn't really impact anybody's life, but I just wanted to put that out there because some people don't realize that. But we're Season 2! We are here! I'm recording this Monday evening, so the evening before you're listening to this. And I have finished Team Affinity, so I'm going to start with that. I finished Team Affinity because the grind was actually pretty simple. I still hate very much so that they've separated this grind between mini-seasons and Conquest and play versus CPU. It should just be play offline and play online. And that's it. Simple as that. I don't like that they did that again. I think it's really dumb. Mills had a great tweet saying, play your way, but not your actual way. Play the way we're telling you to play. I hate that. I really dislike that strongly. Not Mills' tweet. Love Mills' tweet. Hate the content structure. Just want to make that clear. So, I mean, this is what we're working with. I think it was easy to finish, so that's nice. We're happy about that. Someone randomly just followed me while I'm not even streaming, just recording. Dylan2Goat, shout out to you. So that's where we're at with Team Affinity. My big complaint with Team Affinity, and this becomes a structural conversation, I said this in yesterday's mailbag, so I will reiterate it here again today. Team Affinity being 89 overalls on launch night of the game, as in the first launch night of the game. Great for the power creep. Cards are usable. Everybody's usable. Everybody's on the table. We're 89s. We're starting from scratch. A lot of these cards would have been bangers. Let's just imagine. Let's put on our imaginary hats, our thinking caps, and pretend this is day one of MLB The Show 24. Day one. You don't have any cards in your binder yet. Santander, this card is a killer. You're excited about this card. Tristan Casas, not bad. Excited, maybe. Clint Frazier, pretty damn good. Forget Ryan Yarbrough. He sucks. Bo Bichette, not a bad shortstop. Now put on your today hat. In your today hat, you have finished the live series collection. You have a wild card. You have other core cards that you have accumulated through playing the game. Basically, not a single one of these Team Affinity cards means shit to you. Which stinks. I think all of these Team Affinity Season 2 Chapter 1 cards should have been 91 or 92 overalls. Now you're making me make lineup decisions. Because let me show you what my lineup looks like right now. Not a single new Team Affinity card in it. It's all core and live series. We have Babe Ruth, live series Mike Trout, live series Acuna. We have Rafael Palmeiro, live series Seager, live series Betts, live series J-Ram, core Piazza DHing, and then my wild card is Jorge Posada. My bench, we have some live series guys because I am using Luis Castillo boost. Sure. Maybe some of the new Team Affinity guys might crack the bench. Eddie Rosario, perhaps. But you don't use bench bats anymore. Who uses bench bats? Starting rotation, Pedro Martinez. Roy Halladay, one of the new ones. Tariq Skubal live series. Clark Schmidt and Luis Castillo. But let's say I didn't even want to use Season 2 cards. I would use Shohei, I would use Satchel Paige, I would use Matt Cain or Johan Santana. That erases those 3 Season 2s. In the bullpen, Matt Strahm live series. We could take out this 92 Chapman and put another lefty in. We could use, or honestly, maybe the only one you might use out of these Team Affinities is Tanner Scott. But I don't think Tanner Scott's good, so he never even entered my brain. Andrew Miller, Devin Williams live series, Felix Bautista live series, Mason Miller live series, core captain Joe Kelly. And again, we could take out this Lee Smith and we could put in Craig Kimbrell, Sir Anthony Dominguez, Daniel Bard, all core cards or collection cards. So Team Affinity did nothing for anybody. Shouldn't say that. Did nothing for most people, many people, several people, except fill up the collection binder and get you to this Chapman card. That's what Team Affinity accomplished for most people. And if you're not finished with Team Affinity, you definitely don't have to rush it this time. There isn't much reason to get the cards. You want the XP to move up through the program. That's literally about it. So that's my first critique. Let's talk about the ranked program, the XP program. A couple things I want to point out. I love, sincerely, how much XP they gave us off RIP. And I am appreciative of the fact that they started off the new season with double XP and quad XP cap. It is not a change to the XP cap, but I am hoping they have now realized they need to do double XP and the quad cap more often. And I think they will. I think they saw and heard the complaints of the community not getting the bosses soon enough, and that by the time they did get the bosses, the season was over. I don't know if that's going to escalate the entire power creep as a whole, or just the progression to get the initial 99 bosses. Either way, I am hopeful, and this gave me some hope, just in general, that we might move a little faster along this path. I talked about this yesterday as well, but I want to reiterate it again. I am a fan of this quasi-evolution type of boss thing. Some people thought it was a little bit lazy. I see where they're coming from, because it is just repeating the same 3 players 3 times. I get it. But I think SDS's thought process was, people wanted to use Jimmy Rollins last year, right? Was he one of the XP ones? I don't know. I think he was. But they didn't get him till the very end. So they couldn't use Jimmy Rollins. Well, now if we give 3 different versions of Jimmy Rollins, in this case, we'll say Chipper Jones, even if he's not a 99, at least they're getting a Chipper Jones to use. And then you will move up and get a middle tier Chipper Jones who actually kicks ass. Like, no joke. This 95 Chipper Jones is going to feed families for a week or two. This is a good effing card. Really. Seriously. Not joking at all. Fielding sucks. Don't worry about that. It's third base. So you don't need to move that much. I like what they did with it. Plus, it gives you 6 free cards to lock into collections. I didn't mean to exit out of here. These are effectively 6 free cards. 3 and then another 3. So I like that. I also like, and I got this wrong yesterday, but I fixed it. I like that they put the first boss pack at 900,000. I still don't think it's early enough, but it is earlier than 1 million. Let's see how long it actually takes to get to this first boss pack. Let's see how many more double XP or quadruple XP, whatever the fuck they call it, weekends we get before we make any sort of determination. I want to talk about one more thing in this XP path, and it's the wild card slots. So, contrary to what we thought, you don't automatically start with a wild card spot, right? Kind of we all thought that because that's how they worded it because they don't know how to communicate effectively. What they meant was if you do X amount of goals, you will unlock the first wild card slot immediately, which is not technically starting with a wild card spot. So along this path, there are 3 wild card spots. The second one is at, Jesus, where is it? The second one is at 570. The third one is at 770. So where's the fourth one? We know we're getting 4. My theory is that it's going to become a collection somewhere in here. I think it's going to be like 150 cards is your wild card or something. 200 cards is your wild card. I don't know. Pick a number. I think it's going to be collection based, which I think sucks, and that's going to bother a lot of people, sincerely. But that's just, I think that's just the fact of how it's going to work. They could put it, I mean, what's worse? It being a collection or it being in the stupid wheel spin at the back? Would you rather it be up to chance or fully up to your control by collections? That's where my head goes, because those are the only 2 places I could see it logically being put. Unless it's like a free one in the show shop at some point. I don't even know if that's possible. Like, I don't know. We'll find out soon enough. Honestly, I think 4 wild cards is a fuck ton. I'm not upset about it, because use the cards you want to use, but I don't envision myself using 4 wild cards. Maybe I'll come back and, think differently when I see the cards that start coming out. But I kind of want to use some new stuff. I'm here for new stuff. So I don't know if I'm going to use all 4. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Who knows? We'll see. But at the very least, it gives people the option. So I hope they reveal when that is going to be coming out and where. Another bit of controversy. Where is the best place to find it? Probably here. Another bit of controversy. They nerfed the Carlos Santana boost, the switch hitter boost, from plus 12 and plus 10 to plus 10 and plus 8 contacts. This has generated quite a bit of negative feedback in the community. And I get it. Maybe this is going to come off as bad, but like I don't necessarily agree with it. Like, I agree with the nerfing. Let's start there. There are 2 people in the comment section that get offended when I complain about the Carlos Santana boost. But read the room. Everybody with a brain doesn't like the Santana boost. You can still use it. I'm not going to judge you for using it. You can use something you don't like because it's clearly a benefit. And that's the problem. It's too gosh dang beneficial. Whatever. Regardless. The controversy comes from people spending stubs on a pack for a card for a specific purpose, and then it being shadow nerfed with no explanation as to why. I understand why people are upset about it, but I again would like to point out the fact that the switch hitting captain was already too good. Being a switch hitter is already a benefit. I get it, though. You spent stubs on something hoping for one thing, and now you had the one thing, but you're receiving the other thing. I think the problem comes from SDS not understanding how overpowered this was going to be from the start. So, I think this is maybe the correct way it should have been dropped in the first place. The other alternative to this was not being allowed to use captain boosts in a wild card. You can use the card in its base form, but you can't wild card it. And who knows what type of coding that would have become. Or you can't activate the captain boost, not wild card, sorry. You can use the card as a wild card, but you can't activate the captain boost. My apologies. Who knows the type of coding conundrum that would have brought about for SDS to figure out. So yes, Carlos Santana nerfed. If you didn't know, and now you know. What else do we have for Season 2? Really just a bunch of, like, irrelevant crap. Again, because all of the cards we already unlocked from Core and Live Series are mostly better than what they gave us. I will say I do like the change to the Millionaire packs. The 100 stub voucher is gone. The minimum amount of stubs you can now get is 2,000. Or I guess technically a base standard pack that you get nothing from. But it's better. Eddie Murray is a headliner. He is fine. He's already cheap as hell because they've been feeding us headliner packs, which I don't hate. I like that they've been feeding us headliner packs. Even though the headliners aren't always good, I appreciate the packs. Chase cards. Trey Turner, this card is really good for where we're at. Is he worth 120,000? Absolutely not. Why? Because Mookie Betts, if you finish Live Series, you already have him. I wouldn't hate if you spent 40K on Johan Duran. 40K is not bad for a reliever that's going to play longer than the power creep, if that makes sense. 92 is a rating that is not a 99. However, I don't think you're using him for his rating. You're using him for his pitch mix. I don't hate if you spend 40K on Duran. I have not done it myself. On the fence about it still. But I don't mind if you do that. Can't have a new content drop without a new choice pack that you got to pay for. And none of these cards are worth your time. Teoscar Hernandez is a whatever bat. He's fine against lefties, not good against righties. Plus, vision's terrible. Clutch is fine, I guess, for right now. Blake Snell, no one in their right mind is pitching Blake Snell. I don't even think Blake Snell, an avid video gamer, is pitching Blake Snell. Alex Verdugo. 6 months ago, me would kick myself in the mouth for saying I love Alex Verdugo. But I do. I love Alex Verdugo. It's a shame the Yankees probably won't sign him back because they'll have to spend every dollar in their budget on Soto. However, this card stinks. Moving on. Jordan Montgomery. He's okay. Wish they gave him a cutter. Don't know why they took it away. Abraham Toro. Interesting build. Switch hitter, I guess. James Paxton, sinker and cutter. Now we're getting somewhere. He might be okay, plus he's only 18K if you buy him outright. He's aight. Kevin Pillar. What a weird card. Moving on. And that's it. So those cards stink. The season awards. I purchased Clark Schmidt. I think Clark Schmidt's going to be pretty good. I got him for 55K, so a little below what he is now, but still about the same. Cutter primary with a sinker. I'm a big fan of Clark Schmidt in real life. I like using him in BR. Clark Schmidt is, he's here. He's here, and I like him, so he's okay. It's a shame that you got to spend stubs for him, though, because they didn't put one of these packs in the season awards timeline. I don't know. I don't agree with it. I wish they would have, but there you go. Matt Strahm, also very good, but here's a fun fact. If you use the Live Series card with the Luis Castillo boost, pretty much the same thing. So don't spend 52,000 stubs on this card if you have the Live Series Matt Strahm, which I would venture a guess to say 98% of the player base has. Miguel Andujar, actually a fun little card. He's just god-awful in the field. This card ain't bad, but you have better cards. I promise you have better cards. Anthony Volpe, my shortstop Italian king. This card stinks, but I love Anthony Volpe with a passion. Who is this? Ben Brown. Had to go sideways for it. I hate sideways cards. Yeah. Cool prospect in real life. Real good prospect in real life. He's still a prospect technically, but he's proving it in the bigs. Either way, not a good card. And that's that. So, mostly crap in the store that I think nobody's biting on these cards. Like, this Teoscar Hernandez, in theory, he is the hardest card to get. 67,000 plus. Only 740 parallel ones. That shows you how few people are buying this pack and using this card. People have wisened up. They've become smarter, and that's good. Hopefully it shows SDS that releasing all these packs is stupid. What else do we have to talk about here? Oh, the BR rewards. You can just not play BR for the next month, basically. 17 days. The BR rewards stink. These cards are cool. I love the Chris Sale. I love the Lou Trevino. Big fan of Patty Wisdom. Going to use him a lot. Big fan of this pack. I love Lau. I love Alex Bregman. Jeff McNeil's okay. Harrison Bader, interesting card. Big fan of those. The problem is these cards are ass. Vinny Castilla. Have you ever heard someone say, I love Vinny Castilla cards? You might say, hey, this Vinny Castilla has a fun little swing, and then you put him away and never use him again. Kind of what this card is. And again, you have better cards in your inventory that are core or from Season 1 to Wild Card that you don't have to use this card. SDS did not appropriately analyze where people's teams would be starting in Season 2. And they kept the power creep the same. It should have started at 91s. These should have been 93s. End of rant. Mike Messina. Love Mike Messina. As a Yankee fan, growing up when he was pitching, he was one of my favorites to watch. I friggin' love Mike Messina. And I am good with Mike Messina cards. Any good card he's had the last couple years, I have enjoyed pitching with. However, this card stinks. His pitching clutch, bad. Control. He was a control pitcher. He's only got 84 control here. Hits per nine's not good enough. K per nine's not good enough. Foul balls are already bad enough. On the subject of foul balls, there's evidently a patch coming this week. It's going to address foul balls. In what manner, I don't know. I am so interested to see. Are they going to shrink the outer PCI? Are they going to make K per 9 matter more? Are they going to somehow initiate more in-play contact? I don't know. It is great that they're listening to us, but I am petrified because this is a potentially large gameplay fix that is very needed, but at the same time, we know what happens when they touch gameplay. Or when they touch anything. Something else breaks. So we'll monitor that situation, and we'll likely talk about it next week on the podcast. Likely. More content to talk about would be the ranked program. Okay. Mark McGuire. No one cares about this card. It's a 93, though, which is good. The BR cards also should have been 93s, but the fact that this is a 93 is good. Just an awful swing, though. And 55 vision. Terrible. Playing traffic. Now we have... This is a good card. It's unfortunate that a reliever is a World Series reward. His price will come down as people continue to unlock him. I am in no rush to get him because I don't think any pitcher is actually good. But Rivera is a good card. Claps for Rivera. They did a good thing. This is one of the only good cards dropped in the content drop. In terms of, like, where we're at right now. Again... If it's day one of launch night, the first ever time you're downloading and playing MLB The Show 24, this was a fine content drop. But it's not that day. It is 3 months later. So that's where we're at. The last bit of content I'm pretty sure to look at would be the event. The event has no restrictions. It's use whatever cards you want that are eligible in Season 2. So it's just ranked but 3 innings. An all-star. TJ Antone is a card. He's fine. He's got 4 pitches instead of 3, so that's nice. I guess he'll be used. His control of BB per 9 just scares the shit out of me. And then La Pantera, Luis Robert. What a bad swing he has. His vision's terrible. He's good in the field and can run a little bit. I see no reason you should use this card. I actually unlocked it and sold it for $55K because we know we're going to get rewind packs. So I took the stubs there instead of holding on and using this card. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of XP in these paths now. As you can see, 7,500, 7,500, 7,500, 7,500. Like, they're giving us XP now. So they've heard us. If we're going to cap your gameplay XP, we'll give you XP in other places if you earn it, which I don't. It's not like the proper trade-off, but at least it's something, right? Like, it's better. It's still not good, but it's better. I think we have to analyze these things fairly and acknowledge that it's not where we want, but it is actually better than it was before. It's fair to say. The last thing I wanted to talk about here is this. Is it this? Yes, it's this. I'm going to make my face go away for a second for people on YouTube. If you're listening, you didn't see my face to begin with, so it's not a big deal. Okay, so the calendar for the upcoming week, a.k.a. this week. We are getting 2 programs today, on Tuesday, the day you're listening to this. An Architects program that is going to help us out with the Cornerstone captains. Ashley teased that it's going to specifically, or should theoretically specifically, help the Giancarlo Stanton Cornerstone captain, because he is the least usable Cornerstone captain this moment of recording. There aren't enough cards that fit his boost. That will soon change. There's also a London Series program. I am hopeful that there aren't just packs with better cards and that we actually have chances to earn the packs in these programs. Having 2 programs in one day when programs were so few and far between last season, on the surface is an improvement. Let's see how they actually are before we determine that they're an improvement. But on the surface, they look like it. We can all agree with that. New headliner Tuesday as well. Also this week, it is rare that they ever did this in Season 1. We are also getting another Season Awards program, which is good, and 2 new Conquest maps. So we are getting 2 content drops in 1 week. That is how MLB The Show used to be. That is what we all expect MLB The Show to be. It is phenomenal that on the surface, it could be back to that. I'm hoping this is a precursor to what the game is going to begin to look like again. I don't think the pack focus is going away. I think that comes from the people in suits and ties above SDS. I think that comes from Mr. Sony himself. We've talked about that before. But they can lessen how obvious that is by giving us programs and content that helps us earn the packs they're otherwise going to make you pay for. All I'm asking for is a chance to pull the cards. I don't need the guarantee. I just need a chance. Thank you for attending my TED Talk. So we have some content coming, and content should be fun. Hi, I'm back. Here's my face. So, I mean, this was a content drop, guys. It was a big content drop. It wasn't a content drop that blew my balls off, but thankfully the grind wasn't too bad. I'm excited to use the 99 cards. I actually somehow think we didn't talk about those. We just acknowledged that they existed. But, like, this Chipper Jones is, like, it's pornographic. It's so good. Ken Griffey Jr. finally is built, like, semi-appropriately. This is the first, like, 99 Griffey I can remember in a while that they didn't just tank the contact on, so this is good. 107 clutch, though, like, what? Guy hit fucking 630 home runs or something like that, right? Give the man max clutch. That bothers me. And this Roy Halladay is going to be incredible. He's Roy Halladay. So, like, a good crop of 99s here. And I guess, oh, God, we forgot about this, too. The collection 99s. There's so much content, my head's spinning. Derek Jeter. I laughed when I saw this. 92 fielding, 99 arm strength, 92 speed. Listen, Derek Jeter fan, Yankee fan, love Derek Jeter. They're being generous there. And I'm not going to complain because it's a virtual world. It's a video game. Bob Gibson, he's back. Thank God. It's going to take a little while for people to get him because I had nightmares of seeing this guy last year. And this Frank Thomas is going to destroy people. This Frank Thomas is crazy. We haven't had a beefy Frank Thomas since 22, right? We didn't really get one last year. We got a 99. It just wasn't incredible. This card is going to slay baseballs. So that's fun. But it's just going to take us a little time to get there. That's the nature of how they've set this whole thing up. I'm hoping we go back to just regular power creep next year. Screw seasons, throw them away. But that's a different conversation for a different time. Ladies and gents, but that's going to be it for this episode of the show, the podcast. I'm thirsty. I'm losing voice ability. But we covered a lot in 30 minutes, and that's pretty good. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope you guys, if you're still playing, found some value in the grind. I didn't really, other than to progress closer to bosses that I'll get in a month, which is the carrot at the end of the stick that they're dangling in front of us on the hamster wheel, or whatever the analogy is. It's just silly, but that's where we're at. Either way, again, thank you guys for making it to the end. I love you all. Make sure you like and subscribe. Very important. And see you next time. Bye.